everybody. Hopefully we are live and on the air. We've had mucho problemo with the techo tonight, and it has not been fun. Sorry we're so late starting this hangout, but we're here now. And it is the first Boozy Book Club we have had in like 6 or 7 months. It's really been a long time. Boozy Book Club was a monthly thing, and then we started doing weekly hangouts for television shows, Outlander, that just took up so much of our online video energy that we couldn't handle doing Boozy Book Club once a month on top of it. So we ignored Boozy Book Club for a couple of months and retooled it and started doing what we're now doing, like quarterly hangouts where we talk about all of the books that we've read over the past 3 months. But focus on one of them. And so this is our first quarterly hangout, and we're talking tonight about The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, which was a very good book. It's been very popular. Lots of book clubs are doing it. And our book club is one of many, but ours is the best. I'm Beth. I'm with That's Normal, and I don't have my tagline on there tonight. I'm sorry. Hopefully you've seen my face enough at this point to know who I am. You can follow me at B Thorne on Twitter or on That's Normal, and we have some lovely ladies with us tonight. They're all three our book club moderators, so they are some of the folks that you're talking to on Goodreads. So you guys introduce yourselves and tell us if you're drinking anything or if you're not, and why you're not. Tiff, go ahead, Tiff.
No. Oh, it's me first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. My name is Tiffany. And I'm excited to be here. I'm just drinking water. I just got home from work from like a 14-hour day. So, happy to be here again. Glad we're back.
Hey, I'm glad to have you. I miss Boozy Book Club. It's really my favorite thing in the world. I love it. Julie, say hi.
Hi, I'm Julie. I write for That's Normal. I'm also with That's Normal, whatever, and I write for it. I am drinking red wine because I could not find gin and tonic in a can, and I'm very sad by that because I thought, well, I'll become, what's her name, Rachel? I'll become Rachel for tonight.
I don't think anybody can find that in a can. It doesn't exist. That's ridiculous. And we have someone brand new with us tonight. She is making her virgin appearance. She's a first-timer on a That's Normal hangout. Anne, say hello.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'm also a writer at That's Normal. I am not drinking anything. I drank red wine earlier tonight, and I have been spending the last 20 minutes trying to get my hangout to work. So the wine is downstairs and I'm upstairs. But I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Don't hang out and drink. It's when you're trying to do the tech part, it's not a good combination. And half the time we're already drunk before it starts. That's why we have problems. I'm having a margarita tonight because it kind of looks to me like a gin and tonic in a can. It's a very clear margarita. It's not very good. It's not enough tequila in it to make it very good. But I'm also having some pineapple, and that's making it very tart. It's delicious. So let's get started. The Girl on the Train was Wacky Town. Mm-hmm. And my biggest question about The Girl on the Train, which is probably my only question for tonight because I'm deferring to you guys, is how people were connecting it with Gone Girl, because Gone Girl was one of my favorite books a couple of years ago. I loved it just because of, like, she had these really sharp observations about life and the way things were. But I really felt like this book was totally, completely different, other than the, like, I guess, suspense aspect. So what did you guys think? Did you read Gone Girl? Did you think that they were comparable or not?
Go ahead, Tiff. Go ahead.
I'm just frustrated by the sun right now. Go ahead.
Julie?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like focused on Tiff's the sun hitting her face. I can understand the comparisons. One, you have a female author. It's a suspense novel, like you said, Beth. I feel like, too, with Gone Girl, there really wasn't a character that was, you had a redeemable character, a character that was just good. And I felt like with this book too, I felt everybody was screwed up. Everybody in this book was screwed up, from the husbands to the wives to the mistresses. Everybody in this book was screwed up. Other than that, though, I feel like I didn't see much. That was the only similarities I could find. Other than that, it's not. And I did read Gone Girl, and it's not like Gone Girl for me.
I think a lot of people compare it just because it's one of those books that are, it's a intriguing book, engaging book, and it's paced similar. It's like paced at a similar rate, and so people who would like Gone Girl probably would like this book. I personally liked Girl on the Train better than Gone Girl, and I'm like one of the only people who says that. But I felt like Gone Girl just dragged so much for me, and this book I read in like one sitting. It was really quick for me. So, but I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
There's similarities, like Julie said. Like everyone in the book is crappy in both books. No one is a good person in either one of the books.
It's true. I liked Gone Girl better too. I mean, I'm sorry, I liked Girl on the Train better too. But I'll get to why in a little while. Like, it wasn't just. I think Gone Girl was more tightly plotted.
Yes.
And it was, for me, had a bigger payoff in the end. Like, what I was waiting for was more of a shocker, and it was just more dramatic. And but I liked Girl on the Train better. It was more of a book that I would have. I was more interested in the characters, I guess.
Right.
And did
I sympathized with. Yeah, I did, and I did not like Gone Girl because I really didn't like Amy in it. And so I think that even though Rachel was frustrating to me, I at least could sympathize with her a little bit. And while she was maybe a little bit crazy, I didn't hate her like I hated Amy. So it made it a little more enjoyable. I was kind of rooting for her, even though she was crazy.
Yeah. That's kind of my thing, too. I think that Amy is so irredeemable, and you don't know that in the beginning. And so that's part of why Gone Girl is so caustic, because you have no clue that that's going on. But then Rachel, you think in the beginning she's horrible, and then you start like developing this gigantic amount of sympathy. By the end of the novel, Rachel to me was the least crazy, the most sympathetic, and really was not the unreliable narrator that we thought she was. I mean, other than blacking out,
she kind of
constantly.
Yeah, she kind of was redeemed at the end, which I liked.
She's not a liar, at least.
It's so funny to hear you guys talk about this, because this was actually my real life book club's pick just a couple of weeks ago. No, not my real life. I'm not like Rachel. But anyway, and everyone in my book club hated her, and I was the only one like, you guys, she's not as bad as we think she is. She's not as bad as even what she thinks she is.
Right.
So, and no one else agrees with me. So I'm glad that you guys are like-minded.
No, and you know what? And I think she thought she was bad because, and by the way, we're probably going to say things on this hangout that are going to be spoiler alerts and everything, so FYI. But she was bad because her husband convinced her that, or her ex. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Her ex. And I agree. She was everybody in this book was crazy, but you felt sympathy and you were very empathetic to Rachel and to what was going on with her. She was screwed up. She had a drinking, problem. At the same time, though, everything she did for herself to make her feel better about herself, but she really did want to help this guy and look for this girl, and something to give her something to think about other than drinking. So yes, compared to Amy, yeah, she was 10 times better.
Compared to Amy, she's the Virgin Mary, basically.
Talking about like the comparison between the two books, so I felt like they were similar also in the fact that I guessed immediately, almost like a quarter of the way through each book, what was going on, to the end in Gone Girl too. Like somebody said, oh, the ending's crazy, and I go, the way that this is going to be the craziest is if they stay together. And then my friend who I was talking to about this, she's like, yikes, you totally just guessed it. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so I guessed both of the endings. I knew from even earlier in Girl with the Train what was happening.
Yeah.
Like you knew that her husband was abusive and all of that. Like that came to you pretty.
The only thing that was kind of a shock to me was how he was feeding her lies, like saying, "You're calling me all the time," and that kind of stuff. But that was, I was like, oh yeah, that was kind of like, wow, this is crazy. But I knew it was him from the first scene where they talk about, is it Megan talking about being in a hotel room? I was like, that's her ex-husband. I know it. So.
Wow, I am an idiot when it comes to figuring stuff like that out.
Me too.
Cannot do it.
I did. I think I messaged you, Tiff, and I said, I think I was on page 70, and I went, it's the husband. He killed her. He killed her. I just didn't know. You're right, though. I didn't know how far his abuse went in regards to Rachel. So that for me was like, and how psychotic. I mean, he is a sociopath, psycho. I think. So, but I guessed it. I was like, he murdered. That's the girl. He murdered the girl.
Look at you, smarties.
Murder. Thanks, Barry.
I don't get anything.
I know. I felt like an idiot. I don't need to be there.
I mean, do you do that? Like, do you get it when you go to movies? Like, I never get that stuff.
No.
Totally. I don't even watch movies because they're so predictable at this point.
Oh my gosh.
I'm jealous of that skill. That is not a skill that I possess. I don't get it.
Horrible skill because you're like the annoying friend's like, I knew it. I knew it.
I tamp it down. I just
have you seen The Usual Suspects? That's the one that my husband figured it out immediately, and I didn't till the very end. I was clueless.
You're not supposed to figure it out till the very end. That's the whole point of that movie.
I know. My husband figured it out at the beginning.
That's not normal. That is not normal.
It drives me crazy because I'm with you, Beth. I never figure it out till the end. And I was that way with this book.
Memento, that movie with Guy Pearce.
Mm-hmm.
Had y'all figured that out?
No.
I've only seen one movie with Guy Pearce, and I bet you can guess what movie that was.
Let me think. Is it The Rover? How did I know?
Tip, you were the person who saw The Rover?
The one person who saw that movie and had to fast forward through parts of it just to get through it.
Oh man, I have not seen anything Rob has done since Breaking Dawn 2.
I just got Maps of the Stars today from the library, so gonna watch that. Have you seen
are a fan. You're a fan.
Super fan for life.
It's dedication.
It is. My next actor binge watch is going to be a Tobias Menzies binge. I'm going to watch everything I can get my hands on. And
what else is he in?
And then I'm going to blog about it. He's in Rome, and he's in Dishonorable Woman, and he's in other shit.
Wasn't he in Game of Thrones? Wasn't he on Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he was on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I've seen that.
Oh.
For many episodes of Game of Thrones, or like
not
just
in a lot. It's mostly season 4,
3,
3 and 4. He's not in a lot of it, but he's also in one of my favorite adaptations of Persuasion.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I have seen that one.
He plays Mr. Elliot.
Ooh.
Which is such a dick role, and he's so good in it.
He's good at playing dicks.
Yeah,
and having one. He's good at
and having an uncircumcised one too.
My friend Peter is watching this tonight, so Peter, I'm sorry that I just talked about Tobias Menzies' penis.
Sorry, Peter.
Sorry.
You're not sorry.
But you're not tweeting me or texting me either. You said you were going to give commentary, and you're not doing that, so step it up, buddy.
Sorry.
Speaking of my friend Peter, he said that he thought the entire time, he got in his mind when he read this book, he read it in his book club, and he got in his mind that Rachel looked like Melissa McCarthy, and so he got in his head very early on, and so the whole rest of the book he read as a comedy. Which is just the greatest. Can you imagine, like, if that's in your head, the book would read pretty funny. If you didn't find it tragic that she's an alcoholic and you found it comic.
She's always passing out.
For the movie, she could play Rachel in the movie.
Yeah, it
when
would
they
be a
adapt
totally different theme.
Yes. It's like when they do the trailers for like a scary movie, but they change the music to make it look happy. It'd be like one of those.
That would be it.
She'd just be doing like Chris Farley falls everywhere.
Puking on her friend's carpet and stuff.
Yeah, like where she was trying to get over the fence and she just falls.
Or when she's like stealing the baby, she's just like eating the baby and then she's like, no, you can't go to bed. Oh gosh, I got a kid at the stairs. She wants to say hi.
Girl on the stairs.
Go to bed.
Girl on the stairs.
You gotta go on the stairs saying hi. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Hi.
Hello.
All right, say hi really quick, and then you gotta go.
Hi.
All right, go to bed. Good night. Bye. Go. Okay, she's gonna get spanked. All right, so who's got more questions about this book, guys? Throw it at me.
Let's talk about the characters and the differing. There was 3 different points of views. We had Megan, we had Rachel, and we had
Anna.
Anna. There we go. So
Yes.
essentially, did you guys like that they switched the point of views? Were you just like, what did you guys think about the differing point of views?
Well, I really, really like a dubious narrator. It's one of my favorite things. My favorite books are Lolita, Turn of the Screw. I mean, I love books where I have no idea if the narrator is being real with me or not.
Right.
So that, for me, when I'm reading Rachel, felt very, at the beginning of the book at least, I was really into that because I was like, what is this chick, her perspective is all jacked up. I have no idea what she's talking about. And then when I was reading Megan and Anna, it was revealing more, but I wasn't sure that they were as unreliable as Rachel. I wasn't sure if they were being real or not.
Right.
And so it diminished my enjoyment of it a little bit. Like, I think I would have preferred to have more mystery or gotten it more from Rachel's perspective towards the end of it. But Anna's was really the only one that I felt was out of place. I liked the fact that we found out that she was conniving and horrible herself, and because she looked like such an angel for so long. But I really didn't think that her point of view, to me, it diminished the tension and everything a little bit.
Really? I kind of think that it didn't, because at the end, you don't know what she's going to do. Like, at the end, because she's totally a horrible woman. And at the end, you don't know if she's going to stand up for Rachel or if she's going to, try and live happily ever after with Tom or...
Right.
That's true. That last chapter when you don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah.
But before that, I was just like, you're going to way too much from about who you are.
Probably have been cut down a little bit.
Yeah. I even thought at the very end when they were in the police station and essentially Anna lies and says, no, he came at Rachel and Rachel defended herself and essentially he came at her with the weapon instead. I felt that there was still like something left unsaid, like, now I have you, I know the real truth or something like that. So I didn't trust Anna even at the very end, even when she told the police that, no, she defended herself. The one thing about that, we'll talk about that scene later. I had an issue with that scene because I'm just like, it's self-defense. You'd still be, I don't know if the laws in England are different, but it's still self-defense. So I have an issue with that scene, but we'll talk about it later. But yeah, I didn't trust Anna even at the very end. So.
And I agree with Beth. I think it could have been told from Rachel and Megan's point of view only. I don't think we necessarily needed Anna's. We could have gotten everything from those two, and she was kind of an extra character.
Right.
But,
yeah. I mean, I liked the reveal that she was kind of horrible, but
yeah,
I would have preferred to have been shown that and not necessarily gotten inside her head and
narrated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. I agree, Julie, that like at the end she's got this. They could probably do a whole other book.
Yeah.
On just what Anna is going to go through at the end of this, like what her whole perspective is going to be and how she's going to manipulate Rachel for the rest of time. based on what happens afterwards.
Exactly. And that was the thing. I was like reading it going, okay, now you have this thing, you can pretty much hold it over her head like, I know the truth. And she's a horrible person, so I could see if there was a sequel to this being like, what are you going to do for me? I can go right back to the police and tell them the truth and everything.
Yeah. What is the deal with adulterers, by the way? This is a totally different subject. But women that sleep with men who are married, have them leave their wives, and they're totally, like, their assumption is that this man is not, this is never going to happen again. Like,
yeah.
No. That's why I knew. That's why I knew from the get-go that it was him. Because I'm like, once a cheater, always a cheater.
It just doesn't make any sense.
FYI, cheaters die.
Yes.
It's just a bizarre dynamic. I don't understand why. I'm so sad that I'm eating. I do it every time. And I have this big hunk of pineapple in my mouth. Like, that's not totally gross. I apologize. I don't know. It just seems really strange to me that there are women out there that still concoct these fantasies like that's going to work out. And it doesn't. Ever.
And it's, like, real. Like, I know people who have done that kind of thing. It's crazy. And you just try to show them any type of logic, and they don't care.
You don't have to show them logic. Show them pop culture for the last 75 years. Be like, these are all of the women who thought their man would never cheat on them, even though that's how they met him. And look how it ended for them. Because, let's start naming some movies. It happens every time.
Because cheaters.
That's what happens. And everyone thinks that I'm different.
Right. Or he's different.
Yeah.
It's different between us. That's it. He really loves me. He doesn't love her. He really loves me.
Yeah. I'm special.
You're not.
Speaking of, there's a character like that in my favorite book series, Captive Prince, and it just made me think of it. And that book needs to come out immediately. I'm thinking about it. I cried earlier because, guys, if you haven't read it already, Captive Prince is the greatest book ever, and its sequel, Princess Gambit, is even better, and the third one is coming out in February. And the author tweeted that her editor was really happy with this particular scene, and I cried. I cried just sitting on my couch thinking about it, how I didn't have that book in my hands. And how even when I do have that book in my hands, I won't be able to swim around in those words for the rest of time. I'll only have that book. And it really made me cry some more. If I could just live in that world, and I can't. Go read Captive Prince so we can talk about it. Okay?
All of us are like, whatever.
It's really good.
February's book club.
Every day's book club. I could read it every day.
It's the optional book every month. Every book
month.
is one book, and then Captive Prince is optional reading.
It's actually a really good idea. It's a good thing I'm in charge of book club, guys. It's a really good thing.
Yes.
Y'all are all going to have to read Captive Prince. Like
Every
everybody reads what we tell them to read. No one reads.
Always.
Always.
Some of you do. Some of you are good. Those of you here in this chat, I'm going to give you props for reading the books that we assign.
Yeah, I pretty much always do.
And you're the best. You're going to be in every...
I have yet to be disappointed. Yes.
I'll read anything
It's buttering you up.
What, Tiff?
I read anything that's not urban fiction.
She doesn't like the Fever series, you guys.
No, I haven't even tried to read it. I haven't tried to read it.
She won't read it.
It's not that I won't. It's just I have priorities.
Read the damn book. Damn it.
Wait, so the ones that they made me read before.
It's good.
No. Oh my God. Tiff, Barons. Just Barons.
Okay.
Yes.
Barons. Oh God, I just got hot thinking of him.
I know. He's so ridiculous. Tiffany, have you read The Bronze Horseman?
I haven't read that yet either. No.
But you've read Outlander, right?
I've read every single word of Outlander.
Okay, so you know how Jamie Fraser is like the tip top of historical romance heroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those books are epic, and you're like, nothing compares, and you're so excited about Jamie Fraser. Well, Barron's and Matt are Jamie Fraser and Claire of the urban fantasy world.
All I've ever heard for the past however many years about this book from you guys is how ridiculous the description of the clothes are.
But you can get past it. You can ignore it.
They're naked a lot in book 4. There's a lot of naked.
Oh man, okay, I'll read it. I've been telling you that forever though.
Yeah. And think about this. How many times does Jamie smell like onions? How many times is undercarriage cheesy? And Claire's like, and we look past it.
Whenever I read those sentences in Outlander, I'm like, I pictured Diana in her hole of her messy office, typing them up her
I imagine how many times she had to go camping with her husband to even know that smell exists.
Totally.
How many times were his balls that disgusting that you were able to get to the place where you knew that Jamie's balls could possibly be that smelly?
There's this one of her books. It's dedicated to her husband. And it's thanks for all the inspiration. Wink, wink.
No, I saw it the other day because I got out this copy of it. It's in Dragonfly and it says in thanks for the raw material.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
You know what's sad? Can you imagine being her kids and being like, these are my parents. My dad in this easy undercarriage.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to get in trouble about talking about older people.
I just don't like the descriptions. But my point is that you could read Fever and ignore the descriptions of silk shirts and come away with a great appreciation for the urban fantasy genre. But then
if there's mention of silk shirts, all I'm going to think about is Color Me Bad.
Yep, that's exactly what you think about. I promise.
But they wanted to sex you up, so it's okay.
It's relevant.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's like.
That's hilarious.
Oh, God.
First time anybody touched my boob, I was wearing a silk shirt. Just like a Color Me Bad one. It was purple.
Oh,
That's awesome.
It was on the back of the church bus on the way back from a hockey game.
Joins us right now because they've heard so far cheesy undercarriage and my boobs. The first time my boobs were touched was in a silk shirt.
I hope my kids are asleep. Is that what you're asking?
Oh man.
They may not be. How do y'all like this flash dance thing I got going on? I can't keep my shirt on. Let's get back to Girl on the Train. That was like a 10-minute. That was like a 10-minute. It happened because of Captive Prince. Not my fault. Jeff, you have questions for us? Let's talk about something.
Well, we can talk about the fact. I know we just talked about a little bit the different voices in the book. I thought it was interesting that they were all women. They didn't give a man a choice to a voice in the book. So they were kind of mysterious. They kind of seemed, all the men kind of seemed a little bit either deranged or really weak, too.
Yeah.
So thought that was interesting. And also I know from some of those books that you, or some of the questions that you have, Julie, that they talk about the theme of motherhood a lot in those questions. Did you get that from the book, like a theme of like motherhood? Was that, did you think that that was like really in your face? It was, but it wasn't like the first thing I thought about when I read the book and finished the book.
No, I didn't really think about it. Besides just the fact that she wasn't a mother.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she wasn't a mother, and then Megan, she lost a baby, and then she was pregnant, and then Anna and her baby. So they kind of did, she did sneak it in kind of in there a lot. Yeah. And them, I guess it's like them trying to find their identity through their children or being able to bear children, because that was one of the biggest things that Rachel was depressed about, was that she couldn't have children.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was a big deal for Megan. I mean, obviously it was like this huge aspect of why she was the way that she was this child that she lost.
Yeah.
Which I actually forgot about till just now.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Megan.
The whole, like, thing that happened.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like a motherhood book to me.
No.
I mean, I think I'm the only mother. You don't have kids, right, Anne?
I do not.
I mean, it didn't resonate as a book about motherhood.
No.
but I think that's because the women are either bad mothers or they aren't mothers yet. I mean, Anna's the only like current mother, and she's a bad one. And so I guess it just, to me, the book felt, this is gonna not sound like it, but it felt like the theme was more loneliness and not motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think that the questions from the publisher like focus so much about motherhood and that theme within the book. I was like, was she trying to tell us something? I mean, Megan got killed for being a mother.
Yeah.
For being pregnant. So.
And, I mean,
what ended up happening to Megan?
What happened to who?
What happened to Megan in the end?
Tom did he smash her head or something. He smashed. He's gonna keep the baby.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
That was. I mean, if we are going to talk about motherhood, and yes, the lonely. I didn't really feel like it was in my face as much, but looking at it, you know, it's the notion of Megan was going to have Tom's baby because of almost like making up for what she did. And did anyone else feel like it was like Joy Luck Club? How her baby died. I was reading that going, that's Joy Luck Club right there. Didn't she die the baby accidentally?
She drowned her.
Or fell asleep
in the
bathtub with the baby.
Yeah.
So
doesn't she get smothered in Joy Luck Club?
Isn't it she's bathing the baby and she just kind of like loses, she just doesn't think, and all of a sudden the baby, because she's being abused, and so she's kind of like her head somewhere else, and the baby all of a sudden just goes underneath the water and dies. Isn't that it? I
don't remember.
I read that book like when I was so long ago in high school, so no, I kind of remember it. But I didn't feel like it was in my face. So I mean, for Rachel, yes, because she talked about wanting this baby so badly, and then failing at it. And it was like, it was just the beginning of the end for her, you know, the unraveling for her. In regards to it being in the forefront, not really, no.
Yeah. It's strange that they would even, like, make that such a big deal. Because it's, no, it's not a big deal at all. I mean, there are, like, aspects to it. I mean, she's talking about, like, she's constantly talking about Anna's baby. And obviously Megan's watching the baby, and then Megan loses a baby. But it's not about motherhood. It's really about women who can't be mothers, or who fail at motherhood, or who are just friggin' lonely. Their lives are kind of bereft or whatever. So I don't know. It wouldn't be my first, like, if I'm writing for Penguin Books or whoever, I wouldn't be like, let's discuss motherhood and things at all.
In the book, you know. So we were surprised in my other book club too that they had so many questions about it. So
yeah,
did we miss something? Are we like not deep enough to get this? So
no, we're plenty deep. We are just as deep as we need to be to get it. We get it. If anything, it's about like asshole dudes. Like, what was the deal with? Is his name Scott, Megan's husband? I want to call him Jason.
Yes.
Scott.
Oh,
is Scott an abusive husband?
I don't know. I kind of think that he was like pushed to the edge, and he was really bad temper, but maybe not abusive. I don't know.
No, I agree with you, Tiff. I don't think he was abusive. I think he was pushed to the edge. She had clearly cheated on him multiple times, which goes back to this point, like, so he was kind of, for me, ballless until she disappeared. I just think there was that frustration, and he blew up. He could have, you know, ultimately really, really hurt Rachel. Like, when I was reading that, I thought he was, at that point, going to beat her up. When he found out everything. But I just think it's, like, how far, you know, how far can somebody break? You know, with all of this. He was the #1 suspect. He finds out his wife has had multiple affairs. I mean, with the
crazy lady's coming after him. He realizes that she has ulterior motives, and
he does her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and
has sex with her. That makes perfect sense. That is the weirdest tidbit, by the way. Like, the fact that he's super creeped out by her. He's in, like, this huge amount of emotional distress, and he's creeped out enough by her to be like, let's do it.
Yeah.
People in
That
very
makes no sense at all.
do find comfort in sex, though. It's so crazy how many of, I have a friend who, his best friend died suddenly. He was only 30 and he dropped dead. And 3 months later, guess what? His best friend's wife is pregnant with his baby. So like crazy stuff happens. People get super on.
But that's more like for comforting. Like this girl is totally inserting herself in his life and being creepy. And so then he's like, oh, well, you're being creepy. I'll have sex with you. That seems like a logical conclusion.
I can't remember how they got to the sex, but I thought it was kind of like he was kind of just broken down and just like an outlet.
I thought it was kind of, maybe I'm remembering wrong. It's been a while, but it was like kind of rough. Like, wasn't he kind of, not assaulting her, but was he kind of drunk and it just...
Maybe they were drunk. I can't remember.
Yeah, they might have been drunk.
Yeah, they were drunk.
Rachel was definitely drunk.
I don't remember either.
Like, if anything happened in the
Rachel was always drunk.
Rachel was drunk when it happened.
Rachel was drunk. He invited her over. Something like there was a break in the case or something, and so he invited her over. He just didn't want to be alone. I remember that. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
So he invited her over. They started drinking. Next thing you know, she wakes up and she's like, oh, shit, what did I do? And you're like, you did him. That's what you just did.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that these people don't have any other friends? Like, why is he alone except for when his mom comes over? Your wife just died under suspicious circumstances, and you don't have any friends that are over? Like, the weird neighbor lady is the only comfort you have? That's such an odd...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he obviously is from that area of town. His friggin' mom lives there.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have
There's a lot of things in this book that I was like, oh, okay, you're going a little bit too far. Let's rein it back in a little bit. Like, this is a little too unrealistic, a little bit too dramatic.
Yeah.
So.
You know what I did love about it, though, and it was just from the very beginning, like, I just rode the trains in London, like the overgrounds, because I was in London in April, and
A big deal.
Julie's face.
I totally don't remember that at all over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
But like
that one time in London when I went.
But it was so specific to me, like how it looked. Like if my experience had just been like Memphis or whatever where I live, and thinking about trains, like where are their houses? How are they looking in? How is she seeing into somebody's house right away? Or I'd be thinking like the L train in Chicago or something. But like the overground trains and where they go and the country that they go or whatever is very specific. You can see people's like courtyards and in their homes and into their gardens, and it was very vivid for me. So because of that time I was in London.
That one time that none of us remember.
Yeah. And we were in San Diego. We were interviewing Christina Lauren, and another author was there, and her publicist was like, "Have you guys met?" And Jamie and I were like, "Yeah, we met her in London."
Aww.
We did. We met her in London, and then we were like, "That is the douchiest thing that we've ever said." Well, yeah, we met her in London that night. It was really cool.
I thought when you were going to say San Diego, I thought you were going to mention Star Wars.
I will if you want me to.
I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, Beth was about a foot away from Harrison Ford.
Let me talk to you a little while about Mark Hamill's face. What?
I didn't know about that one at all either.
About Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, good. I was about to say, aren't we friends? We are friends. All right, let's do an FMK. We haven't done an FMK for this book. And it's a Boozy Book Club tradition. So it's going to be difficult. But we're going to have to FMK, that's F, marry, or kill, Tom, the murdering sociopath, philandering, murdering, abusive sociopath, Scott, otherwise known as Clueless Jason, and Dr. Habib, or whatever his name is, because I don't remember his name.
Habib. Is it like The Simpsons? Isn't that the guy in the Quickie Mart in Simpsons?
Is that racist? Should I not have said that?
Was he? I can't remember what the doctor was.
Amal?
Amal, that's it.
Amal. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
his name.
It
Oh,
was
I hope it's Amal. We're going to get some notes, some letters, or not Amal. What's the matter with you people?
Okay. So FMK, Tom, Scott, and Dr. Amal.
Can I marry the roommate's boyfriend?
No, he was barely on page.
But he seems so nice and supportive of her.
Pick someone else.
Obviously, you're gonna kill.
okay.
You're gonna kill the murdering psychopath.
I think you marry the therapist because if you're not his client, you can just marry him, and he was probably the most normal of all three of them.
Yeah, good call.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So if you're stuck with one of them,
and
then
you screw Tom, the sociopath.
Yeah.
I won't get pregnant. I'll use protection.
It obviously works. He's got all three narrators like pumping after him.
That's right.
yeah,
He's got something going on.
We know it works. Really, we know his penis works. Anyway.
He's got skills.
yeah,
And
Clearly.
obviously, if the popularity of 50 Shades is anything to go by, women are into sociopaths. That can be
At one point. There might have been a word. We don't know.
Yeah. He probably had a red room of pain. And then you kill the other one, Scott, because
Scott Jason.
he's a
Yeah,
He's boring.
yeah.
He's
And he
boring.
probably has murdering tendencies too, but isn't good to sack because Megan's stepping out on him.
yeah.
I disagree. I'm killing Tom. Totally. I don't want a person like that out in the world.
Okay.
That's fair.
Keep
Did
going.
Rachel remember the sex with what's it? Is his name Scott? What's his name?
It's Scott.
Scott.
That
Okay.
is the
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah. Did she remember the sex, or is she just like, I don't, because she was so.
Did they do it twice or just once?
I think it was just once.
Just once. Just once.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm like, he's grieving. It might be good. There might be enough anger in him to make it good.
Maybe.
No?
I need to hear Tiff's who she's going to have sex with and marry, because if you're killing Tom, I don't know who you're having sex with.
Well, I'm definitely going to marry the normal doctor.
So you're going to have sex with boring Scott, who can't even keep
What?
Megan happy? He can't even keep depressed Megan in his bed?
Well, rather that, you only have to do it once.
That's true.
That's the
True.
point, though. It's supposed to be fantastic.
Order is done. And then, hey, I am way too altruistic. I want the safety of the world. I will sacrifice.
Okay. I think Scott would be lame. And the point of the 1F is for it to be like, what? Yeah.
I could just see Scott as like, you just have to. It's just missionary. That's it.
I see Scott like crying midway. Midway through, Scott's got tears, and you have to console him.
Oh my gosh.
And then you get
You get sex is dirty. I don't like to be touched.
you get like some really lame missionary, and then possessive like crap afterwards. He's like, "Who are you having sex with that's doing it better than me?" And you're like, "Anybody is better than you, Scott."
Poor Scott.
Good God, Scott's
He's
bad.
not a good guy either.
I'm always so sympathetic to people in books that other people are trashing.
We forgot the redheaded guy on the train.
Oh, yeah. I did that
Oh
guy.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
He's throwing a wrench in
seems
it.
fun.
He's making it too easy. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's true. He could have been fun though for a fling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she should have had a fling with him.
I thought
For sure.
that's what I thought it was leading up to. And she's like, I remember that guy. Probably because you went home and had sex with him and you had too many gin and tonics
Yeah.
in a can.
Yeah. But
Maybe
he was
she
really
did.
nice.
Maybe we don't know about it.
He ended up being just a really good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd marry that
Normal
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
If I'm drunk, he's going to take me home, but
The
he's going to
doctor
wait
probably.
till December to have sex with me.
He
yeah.
doesn't count.
Because the doctor.
Hey,
Dr.
the doctor has some money, I think. So I'm going to go marry him no matter what.
The doctor?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Anne?
Well, I was just going to say the doctor, if he's like shady enough to have an affair with one of his patients, maybe you can't trust him, so maybe you marry the redhead from the train instead.
Yeah. Wait, did they actually have an affair? They did.
Well, he and Megan did, right?
Okay. It's kind of weird. Like they don't.
Anna.
Oh,
Which
they
one?
don't come out and say it. They kiss.
Megan.
Like she saw them have a kiss.
He lets her in his apartment, and I don't know. That's got to be a tough situation. I don't think it was very clear whether or not they had sex or not.
Does he go to her apartment too, and that's where Rachel?
That's where Rachel sees them.
Is that her
At their
apartment?
house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was full-blown affair. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know.
You're Racheling us right now.
I don't remember. I blacked out while I was reading the book.
I don't remember either. I really don't. I don't think it was very clear because I don't think Rachel was. Megan. The whole time you're thinking Megan is describing her relationship with Dr. Habib, and it's not.
Amal.
It's her relationship with Tom.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah, that's
it's
true.
polluted in your brain. You're not really sure what happened with the doctor and what happened with Tom and what she.
Yeah, but Julie and I knew that it wasn't the doctor the whole time. So
So
maybe
did she have an affair with him or not?
that's why I'm confused.
I don't think she does.
know.
I think he had enough of a conscience to say, no, we're not. He knew what right and from wrong. He did kiss her, which I think shows he's human. But at the same time, I think he was just like, I know you have these problems. She did confess to him about the child, right? She confessed to him about the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think there was a connection, but I don't think he did it. I don't think he went there. I think he may have been close to it, but I think Dr. Habib.
Oh man.
I feel like I shouldn't have said that. I feel bad. Sorry. Anybody named Habib?
The doctor.
I apologize. I'm sorry. So Margarita. So that's the girl on the train. That's our hangout about the girl on the train. We did a great little FMK. Unless anybody's got some last thoughts. We've been on almost an hour.
Julie, didn't you have thoughts about the ending?
Oh yeah, I did have thoughts about the ending. In regards to, sorry, I'm putting my wine down. In regards to Anne lying about Anne, right? It was Anne was the one. Anna, thank you.
Yeah.
Not that Anne.
Not that Anne.
Not me.
about how Tom died. And how Rachel did kill him. She had the weapon in her hand. She did kill him. I kind of thought that was weird because I was like, well, I mean, in a court of law, like I said, I don't know if it's different in England or whatever. In a court of law, she could have gotten away with, that was pure self-defense. Yes, she did have the weapon in her hand, but it was still self-defense. He was going to kill her. She defended.
But she was also super shady and being really weird, and the police probably already didn't trust her.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of why she was. I mean, the whole thing with Scott. If he would have come in and said she's a crazy, she did this and this and this, and then it would have just looked shady if she didn't have a witness.
All it would have taken is like a really, ambitious prosecutor, and he would have been behind bars for a long, long, long time. Because I mean, there's plenty of reason for it to look like she killed an upstanding citizen, a father and all of that kind of stuff. And
plus the fact, and now thinking about it, in the book, it's funny that as we're talking, the book starts coming back to you, and you're like, oh, these parts. Like the fact that there was that detective who was the female detective that was very much like, very, I'm aware of you. You're lying half the time, telling me this and this and this, and she hated that female detective.
Man, after
just like on Gone Girl.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, after I listen to Serial, I don't trust a detective for nothing.
After watching the news.
They're going to be out there making a case against her. They already don't like her. They would have made this huge case against her. It would have been super easy. Character witnesses. She had no character witnesses. She didn't have a job. She'd been faking all this stuff. She would have been in the.
Yeah.
Do they still hang people in England?
No, they don't. America is one of the only countries that has capital punishment.
Swinging from the nearest tree in England.
No, she wouldn't be. Absolutely not.
Oh, they would have cut her head off in the tower. That's what they
Stick.
That's right. Nice little pike. She would have found herself on a pike up in the Tower Bridge.
Throughout the streets of London.
Is America really the only country that has capital punishment?
The only actual good country
Like,
that has capital
developed.
punishment.
You mean
Developed country.
first
Yeah.
world.
It's like us in Iraq, countries like that. Afghanistan.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy.
God.
Mhm.
With it, America.
But then again, I do there's sometimes people do deserve to die. Sometimes.
Ew.
Like Tom.
Like Tom.
Yeah, like Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just vigilante that mess.
And you know that
No.
roommate has been telling the truth too. Like she was drunk all the time. She lied to me, and I got really scared. I was
Totally.
Yeah.
popped the roommate across the face a couple of times. That's just me.
I was just like, dude, why don't you just kick her out? I have roommate issues, and I'm counting down the days till that lady who was just walked by is leaving my apartment. She'll never watch this. She'll never watch this. But counting down the days, and oh yeah, just kick her out. Just say, you need to get out of here. You're peeing all over my carpet, barfing all over my stuff.
Man,
Enough is enough.
I felt so bad for that girl. I don't remember the roommate's name, but I mean, how can anybody live like that? I mean, I live with a slob, but I'm married to him, and there's nothing I can do about it. And he pays for the house, so he gets to,
He gets to piss wherever he wants.
Does what he wants.
he has squatters' rights. Okay, he pays the mortgage.
Oh man.
But yeah, that sucked for her. I felt like this girl needs a backbone so bad. But at the same time, by the end of the book, I felt so bad for Rachel.
Yeah.
I'm glad she had an ally. Because I needed one.
Oh my God.
He needed a
And
buddy.
I really didn't know if Anna was going to come around or not at the end. I was like, this could go poorly for her.
Anna, to me, is the worst
But then
of
she
the
did.
three. I think
Yeah.
Anna is the worst of the three.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I agree.
She's
Because
terrible.
Megan was trying to redeem herself, especially with keeping the baby and everything, and that's why, she told Tom. And
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Anna, and that one scene where she talked about, I loved when I would show, because she was his realtor, right? Or something like that. She was a realtor.
Yeah.
Show him the house, and we would have sex, and I knew his wife was a slob, and I was happy to do it. You're like,
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And she wasn't really she wasn't Melissa McCarthy, right? She was just had gained weight from what she used to be, but she wasn't fat, right?
No, I assumed that, I told my friend Peter, I was like, she's not someone who is naturally overweight.
Yeah.
She's someone who's probably naturally slim and has gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So she doesn't look like Melissa McCarthy. I can't think of anybody, but she looks like someone, who just gained weight and gained 20, 30 pounds over the past year or whatever.
Hey, I feel her.
I'm just saying, that's what's killing me about the movie. We were talking about how Emily Blunt is supposed to play Rachel.
I'm looking it up right now just to make sure.
And
Have we checked Twitter at all tonight?
I have been looking at it.
Okay,
There's not a whole lot of activity.
Yeah.
But, hi, there's a few people. Liz,
Oh.
Leslie, hey Leslie, LSU Leslie. LSU Leslie, by the way, is the best.
Leslie!
If you're not following at LSU Leslie,
Do
she's
it.
awesome. Do it. Freckle Jenny, hi. Thank you guys for talking to us tonight. Sorry, we don't have a designated Twitter looker adder tonight, so we haven't been chatting back. But yeah, I don't understand how Emily Blunt is playing this role. There's no way she's putting on even 10 pounds, much less 30 or 40, or looking
Maybe
not
makeup?
perfect, because she's married to the most perfect man on the earth, so she's got to be fairly perfect in real life.
Maybe it's Emily Blunt and Melissa McCarthy.
Maybe it's Emily Blunt in a fat suit.
Oh no, don't do. I hope they don't do that.
Hey,
I'm
people
Hollywood.
wait for roles all the time.
Or
What?
they just are going to ignore that part of the book.
People gain weight all the time. Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why he's, like, they talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
That she
Women
has
don't.
bad self-esteem because she doesn't look like she normally looks. Her life is falling apart.
But even like when like Charlize Theron gains a bunch of weight for like what Monsters Ball or something like that, she doesn't gain a lot of weight. You know what I mean? It's like 10 pounds. The only person who's ever
She gained a
gained
lot of weight for that.
the only person who's ever gained weight, really, woman for a movie is chick Bridget Jones.
Oh,
Renee
Renee Zellweger. Yeah.
Renee Zellweger, yeah.
But she was already like a normal weight, and then she gained like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And then she became really super skinny afterwards. But she didn't start out Emily Blunt small and gain 40 pounds. That's not going to happen. There's no way she's going to do that. It would destroy her body. She's not going to do it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she just had a baby and she looked banging right after.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot they had a baby. Little Hazel. I love John Krasinski almost as much as I love Captive Prince.
And the Fever series, apparently.
No, that's not up there with those two.
Yeah.
Well, then
If you
why
had
are you
to rank-
forcing me to read it?
Okay. Fever series is Sam Heughan. And Captive Prince is John Krasinski. You see the difference?
Okay. Knowing you, I see the difference.
Okay. Good. Like,
What's Rob Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson is, oh, Jesus.
Is he off the list for you?
Dude, he's my ride or die for life.
Okay. In book seriesness, Robert Pattinson might be my Outlander. Because he's perennial. He always looks good. Every time you see an interview, it's awesome. Every time you notice that he's still around, you're like, oh, fucking Rob is so handsome. You know? It's
But
just
that's the reason why you won't go see The Rover. Because
Yeah, if you won't think that when you see The Rover.
just saying. Like the Dior ad will come out, and you'll be like,
Oh yeah, you walk by it at Macy's and you're like, oh yeah, there you are.
I'm like, I love you so much, Jamie Fraser. I mean, Rob Pattinson. It's like that. Like, Outlander's always there for you. It's always a good time. Sometimes it creeps you out, but it's you know you're gonna love it. Outlander's the Rob Pattinson. Captain Prince is John Krasinski because John Krasinski is the greatest that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are the best books ever.
Them are some strong words.
Well, that and some Melina Marchetta, but it's up there. And yeah, Fever series is Sam Heughan. It's good. It's great. I really like it. I'm going to recommend it to people, but I got a couple of caveats about it.
Okay.
Got a couple of things about Sam Heughan.
You do? Blasphemy.
I'm just saying, it's good. It's just not.
You guys hear that? That's hooligans sharpening their knives.
We're not watching Boozy Book Club. We're not talking enough about Outlander. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to have to do a whole post now on book series and boyfriends.
You're going to do connection and explain.
Yeah. It's a whole thing now. We really got to wrap this up. We've been on for an hour.
Yes.
Boozy Book Club in the future. This month, July, which is over very shortly, we're reading Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. It's the sequel to Kill a Mockingbird, and everybody and their brother is reading it. You really should read it if you haven't. You don't even have to have read To Kill a Mockingbird if you haven't gone through the 7th grade and never read it. So you don't even have to do that. But you should. And you should read Go Set a Watchman. We're just going to be talking about it on Goodreads. We're going to have a chat about it at the end of the month that Julie's probably going to lead because she knows the most about it. And that's our July book we will announce very soon, and we will have another hangout for Boozy Book Club probably at the end of September. So get in some suggestions to us on Goodreads, get in some suggestions to us on Twitter, or on the post that I will put up about the recap for this today, and just tell us what you want us to read. We're really looking for graphic novels that are going to be great, and we want to read what you guys want to read and want to talk to us about. So don't forget about Boozy Book Club. And next week, if you like Outlander, next week on Monday night, we're having a Hang Outlander all about San Diego Comic-Con. You're going to hear all the good gossip. I promise I won't talk about Star Wars. We're going to talk about all the good stuff that we didn't write about. Because there was stuff that happened. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, everybody that joined us online. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.